So today I decided that I would do kind of a chatty video, so if you don't want to hear me blah 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 blah, just leave. Just kidding. Anyway, today I decided that I would kind of talk about how I deal with sadness. Now, this isn't going to be like a sad, depression, anxiety, stress, blah 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 blah. Everybody's sad, everybody has off days, everybody just kind of has those days, and I just wanted to show you guys how I kind of deal with that and how I cope with it and how I try to get myself to move on from those terrible times. Anyway, before we get started, let's get comfortable. I hope I did that okay. I just want to say that this is not professional advice. This is not like approved in any way, shape, or form. This is just my personal thing. First thing that I wrote down is walking, running, and getting exercise. So I know that's like kind of ambitious sometimes, you know, like, oh, I'm sad, but I just don't want to get up and get moving because I am sad. And it's just kind of like a cycle. So really, I think the best thing to do is force yourself to get up and get moving and going outside, getting fresh air, because psychologically that'll help your brain getting into a new space, all of that sort of stuff, instead of just letting all of this sadness just wallow over you. And I am a huge victim of just letting things, you know, affect me and hurt me and just make me feel terrible. But I think that like getting a step to getting away from that sadness is, in fact, you know, getting outside, getting exercise, doing something, and get your body and blood moving. So the next thing that I have is deciphering my thoughts. So normally when I get sad and when I get, you know, like really anxious or stressed, I need to put all of these thoughts in my head and just write it all down. Whether it's in a list or in a journal sort of thing, I just have to write things down. I write a lot of things that I need to remember when I get stressed, or like things that are just bothering me in my sketchbook or in my notebook. I have a journal, and it's kind of like reserved for like times when everything is just going crazy and insane, and all of these thoughts in my brain are just like going like 1,000 miles per hour, and it's just all so crazy, and I just need to, you know, get it out. That's when I write in my journal. But then when I just have like little like panics of like stress and anxiety, I write down lists, and I normally write them in my sketchbook because I'll never forget it if I do. And I draw little things by it so that, you know, like it'll be in my brain and I'll know exactly what I wrote down and what I need to do, and all of those kinds of things. So just kind of like knowing what's going on in my brain and understanding what's happening, which kind of leads me into my next thing. Staying rational. I have a huge habit of kind of being dramatic and letting my thoughts like just like be reality, like, oh, I suck, and then that's all of a sudden reality. It's not. And, you know, being imperfect is okay, and I just need to stay rational and make sure I'm not overthinking too much and stuff like that. Kind of just knowing what's just in my head and what's actually reality. And I'm not saying that it's like invalidating your feelings at all or anything. It's just like sometimes we can be a bit dramatic, and we need to know that some things are just in our brains and that the world isn't ending, you know, and that's mostly just teenage hormones and stuff like that. But it's also like how you can feel sometimes, and I just have to remind myself sometimes, just take a step back and look at what's going on, decipher it a little. 2 and 3 are kind of the same thing. Next thing I have is surrounding myself with things and people that I love. So when I get sad, I tend to isolate myself, and I don't want to do anything for myself, but it's really important to just do things that you love and see people that you know will support you and care about you, and maybe just talking it out to a friend or a family member, or a trusted person of any sort. I talk to my teachers pretty often because I just really love my teachers, but I mostly talk to my friends about what's going on. It's just really nice to have someone that will take the time to listen to you and understand what you're going through and possibly give you support or advice. And they don't have to give you advice, but if they do, that helps, obviously. Just kind of talking things out and talking to someone about it, just not letting yourself be completely alone and letting your thoughts just run wild, and all of these what ifs, that sort of thing, with stress and sadness and all of that. So I think it's really important to let yourself be around people. Even if you feel like a burden, just know that you're not. When you feel these bad emotions, everyone feels bad emotions, and we all understand that, and humans relate, and that creates connections and bonds. So it's always okay to just talk to someone and let everything out, and hopefully that will reduce your levels of negative emotions. So the last thing that I wrote down is giving myself time and space. Now I know it kind of contradicts surrounding yourself with people, but also if you really just need some time to breathe, then take it. But don't like go and just like work yourself to death, because that's obviously not going to help anything. What you really need to do is take time to decipher your thoughts. But if that doesn't work for you, then go talk to someone or write it down or something. But I find that when I'm stressed, I take myself away from people and I kind of write it down and just have it all there. But if that doesn't work, then I go talk to someone. But normally when I'm sad or when I'm feeling like the world is ending or like what ifs are going through my head, then I definitely go to another person and I talk about it, and they tell me just like, calm down. All of this is just in your head and everything's gonna be fine. But they also like listen to me and listen to my problems. So it's kind of like you need to know when you need to give yourself space and when you need to go talk to someone. But never ever let yourself go through everything alone, because that's not going to help you and it's not going to help your friends or family. Obviously, when it comes to these things, respect other people's boundaries. If they don't want to talk about something, or if a subject is touchy with them, then maybe not go to that specific person. But there will always be someone in your life who's willing to listen. That is all. I know it's kind of short. I hope this helped you somehow. I know it's kind of difficult to handle just negative emotions, but these were some of my skills and some of the things that helped me, and yeah, I hope you like this video, and let me know if I should do more chatty things or less chatty things or whatever. I'm still figuring out like a routine to get into for posting videos. Anyway, I hope you have a great week. Hope this helps, and I'll see you next week. Bye.